Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this edition of Reporter's Notebook. Today, I have with me our new morning reporter, Mr. Ford Sanders. How are you?
Hello, I am good. I'm not even tired. Surprising.
Okay, sure. Because how much coffee have you
I'm sleepy.
had?
I haven't had one. You know, since, okay, so guys, I'm not a new reporter here, but I'm the new morning reporter, like
Morning
Victoria
report,
said.
yeah.
This is my first week of being in the mornings. I have not had one cup of coffee.
How do you do that?
I let my brain trick me.
Okay, yeah, sure. So how has the schedule been? Like, what time do you wake up?
Uh-huh.
How's that looking like?
I actually love it. So I wake up at 2:45 a.m. every day. I'm lying, 3. And then around 3, I make sure I get ready, things like that. I'm always in the studio about 10 minutes early, so I get here about 3:50. And then it's great. Once I get in, all my stuff is done from the day before, so now I'm focused on my live shots. So I do 5 live shots back to back, and I do them from 4:35, 5:36, and 6:30. And I try and do a package and a VOSOT to, help split it up a little bit, so our viewers as well, like you all at home, don't get bored. So yeah, we try to do different scripts and things like that. But then once I'm done with my last set at 6:30, I now have the rest of my day from 7 to noon or 1 to do my story for the next day. So I like it. I'm off by 1 every day, so it's a pretty good schedule.
I was gonna say that sounds. I mean, when I worked at Chick-fil-A, I had to do the morning shift sometimes when we had shipments come in, and that was usually the shipments would come in at like 4 a.m.
I was gonna say, so you get the early morning then of that, yeah.
And it's the early morning shifts are actually really good because the day goes by so much quicker. Usually by like 1 year in a weird like delirious state of mind.
Right.
Probably like right now you're probably
delirious. No, but I love it because like you said, it goes by quick. I'm doing live hits back to back to back, so that goes by like that because you're so focused on being ready, and then last half of your day, you're already halfway through. So
exactly, yeah. So speaking of kind of like wrapping up the day, what was your story for this morning?
Yeah, so I did a story on the Open Door Community Center in Washington, North Carolina, so Beaufort County. And long story short, it's a shelter, it's a homeless shelter. But they, one thing that she said to me, Victoria, which was so interesting, is she goes, anything you've ever seen in movies or television shows about homeless shelters, throw that out of the window when you think about us. And the reason why is because I walked in and, shelters kind of have a dynamic to them in the sense of, they try and get as many people in there, which I love. They try and make it super, as filled as they can get to keep people off the streets. And so that's super important. But this one was great because it was like a 3-bed, 2-bath, and it felt like a home, and it had a living room and a really nice kitchen, way nicer than mine and stuff like that. So it was awesome. It was just such a cool place. But the most important part about this is that it is available for women and children of general population. So what I thought was interesting is that there's homeless shelters for men. It's awesome. And there's homeless shelters for, maybe women that are victims of domestic violence. But sometimes women that are just experiencing homeless or maybe disenfranchised, there's not much for them. So this one's important because women and their children can come. And yeah, there's actually a family of 5 there right now, and they have plenty of room for them to make sure that all the kids are well fed, well slept, and things like that. And sons can stay there up until 18 years old. So they really make sure that the family stays as a unit, which I loved.
Okay, I don't believe that you haven't had any coffee because you're speaking really,
Right?
really fast.
Right.
It's a delirium, right?
It's literally, it's my brain. And that's what I always laugh at is like, my little joke is that fast talkers, it just means that we're so smart because no, it's all it is my brain's working 3 times faster than my mouth.
Okay. We'll fact check that for sure. So going on back to your story. So how many people or how many people can they accommodate?
Yeah, so right now there's a family of 5, family of 4, and then there's also rooms. The third room is available. So I'm assuming I didn't get to go in the rooms of 5 or 4 because obviously I'm assuming they were there, privacy reasons, things like that. I'm assuming with the way I looked at the building, those rooms are actually going to be pretty large, obviously, if there's 5 and 4 people. There was another room that was a great normal size, and it had 2 beds in there. They also come with sinks and lockers, and that one was for like 2 single women that live there. So not everyone has to have kids. But yeah, total, I'd say, what's that? 11 people. So they could probably care for anywhere between 8 to 12 people. And yeah, I know expansions are something that they're looking at as well.
And how do they accept donations, or how is this operation funded?
Yeah, so like I said, it's the Open Door Community Center. What's really important is they are a nonprofit. So, I'm sure grants have been applied for. Maybe they've gotten grants in the past, but a lot of the work really is donation based. And that's what I love about journalism, is showing off places like this that are doing a really like a greater cause. So of course, we always want to plug, like if there's any way you can donate, go to their website. And she told me there's actually a big donate button. There's a whole tab, so you'll see it. And that way you can help support them for any future endeavors they have, or if they need to expand, things like that.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Ford, for joining me on this edition of Reporter's Notebook. Before we go, it's Friday. Do you have any plans for the weekend?
Actually, yeah, I think, okay, so not today because, you know, I'm trying to act like I'm not tired, but I'm definitely gonna go home and nap for 7 hours. But tomorrow, I think I may go to. So we have for y'all that don't know, we have a Jacksonville bureau, and one of my good friends, Claire Curry, she's a photojournalist for us, and we both started at the same day, trained at the same time. So it's always nice to maybe like carve out some time and see, you know, them down there. So I actually may go to the beach. And Victoria, you know, I'm trying to get tan, some more tan on me, so I'm gonna lay out at the beach for like 5 hours all day.
You know what? That sounds perfect. I am jealous because I work tomorrow, but I you know what? I will live through you. So.
And you know what? And I so appreciate that, guys, because I used to be the weekend reporter, and so now my awesome teammates are picking up
that shift.
Yes, as I move to morning.
Okay, Ford, thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
And everyone who's tuning in, thank you. You can find his story online at WNCT.com. All right, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.